Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Vanessa Emangulamas, and in this video, we will discuss the differentiated instruction and the various differentiated instructional strategies used in teaching. One of the difficulties in the modern classroom is the vast diversity of learners. The classroom now has more differentiated learners with very different backgrounds, ethnicities, abilities, competencies, as well as learning preferences. Some are good in visual, some are auditory learners, while some are good in kinesthetic. So they learn best in different ways. According to Carol Ann Tomlinson, and by the way, Carol Ann Tomlinson is an American educator, author, and speaker. She is known for her work with differentiated instruction as a means of meeting students' individual needs in education. She defined differentiated instruction as a means of tailoring instruction to meet the learner's individual needs. We are aware of the fact that the classroom are filled with students who have different needs, come from different educational backgrounds, have different attention spans and interests, have different language abilities, as well as have different cultural backgrounds. So, differentiating instruction means that we should observe and understand the differences and similarities of our students, because we can use that information in planning instruction in a classroom. Further, it is a framework that we teachers use in order to teach the different learners inside the classroom. So we use different teaching methods in order to reach the different kinds of learners, as well as a variety of grouping methods in the classroom to help address the needs of all students. We teachers, it is our obligation to prepare differentiated instruction in classroom just to meet the different learning preferences of our students. In preparing differentiated instruction, there are factors that we need to consider. First, there are special needs. So this is probably the most important aspect to consider because it is often legally required. For example, those students who require assistance for disabilities that may be medical, mental, or psychological. Next is the level of prior knowledge. Let's say if a student has gaps in his knowledge from the prior years, so you will likely need to differentiate content in order to catch him up before he is able to learn grade level content. Next is the student behavior. For example, we have a student with a severe behavior issues. Oftentimes, their learning processes may need to be differentiated. This might include having them work alone instead of small group, or keeping them separated from a particular student, or even ensuring that they always work alongside a teacher. Next is the learning style. So there are students that are strong visual learners and always learn best from graphs, illustrations, or graphic organizers. So there are also students who only take in information if they can talk it out themselves. There are also students that are very tactile and need to manipulate objects in order to solidify concepts in their mind. So all of that are all examples that represent the different learning styles. Next is the lesson purpose. So considering the purpose of the lesson is essential. For example, if the purpose is for the students to learn the presentation skills such as the public speaking or debate, so then we can easily differentiate the content to a topic that the students that are passionate about. According to Carol Ann Tomlinson, there are 4 ways to differentiate instruction: the content, the process, the product, as well as the learning environment. It means an effective teachers can differentiate the content of what individuals are learning, the process of how they are learning it, the product or the way of demonstrating that learning happened, and the environment in which learning happens. Differentiating via content. So, differentiating via content includes using various delivery formats such as videos, readings, lectures, or audio. So, the content may be shared through graphic organizers addressed through groups or used to provide different techniques for solving equations. There are 4 ways the teacher can differentiate via content. So, first is compacting the curriculum. Compacting the curriculum where the teacher determines which part of the lesson do the learners have prior knowledge about and highlight those areas that learners have not yet mastered. Next is the learning contract. So, learning contracts are individual agreements between the teacher and the learners or their parents where the teacher provides a certain level of freedom while the learners agree to meet the class expectations within the given time. Next is tiered lessons. So, tiered lessons are taking single lessons and adapting them to the needs of learners of different skills and competency levels. In developing tiered activities, there are steps that we need to consider. For example, choosing activities based on their learning essentials. Next, creating activities that are interesting and cause the learners to use their key skills of the unit. Next is creating activities to ensure challenge and success. The 4th way is the level text. So, the level text provides the learners with content written at the reading readiness of the learners. Differentiating via process. So, process is how students make sense of the content they need to reflect on and digest the learning activities before moving on to the next segment of a lesson. Process deals with how teacher teach and process the lessons to the learners. So this can be done in various ways. We have strategies on the use of differentiating instruction via process. It includes the cubing, the RAF model, which stands for role, audience, formats, and topic, as well as the graphic organizers. So we will discuss it one by one. First is the cubing. So in cubing strategy, it allows the students to have a tangible object that gives them choice. Each side of the cube has a different activity that asks the students to consider a topic in a different way. The principle is to develop a strong topic by looking into it from the following perspectives. First, associate it. Second, compare it. Third, describe it. Fourth, apply it. Fifth, analyze it. And last is to argue for or against it. The question is, in cubing, what will be differentiated? So both process and the product is being differentiated. In process, it is being differentiated because it allows choice and the teacher can make different cubes for students who need enrichment or reteaching. The product is also being differentiated because of the various ways to demonstrate understanding or the same concept. The second strategy is the RAF model, which stands for role, audience, format, and topic. So RAF is an engaging strategy that encourages writing across the curriculum. It is also a way to encourage students to assume a role, consider their audience, while examining a topic from their chosen perspective and writing in a particular format. For example, the newspaper. So if we will apply the rough strategy, the role would be newspaper reporter. The audience is, of course, the newspaper readers. The format is news article and the topic is, let's say, the current state of the Philippine Health Department. The third strategy is the graphic organizer. So it is one of the most effective ways to differentiate a classroom activity. It is by incorporating the use of graphic organizer. No matter the ability level of your students, a simple graphic organizer allows each to show their thinking at their own individual level. In graphic organizers, it displays information using combination of text and visuals forming a diagram. It also arranges information in such a way that would describe the relationship with one another. Therefore, making the concept it tries to portray more comprehensible to those looking at the material. There are different kinds of graphic organizer. One of it is the KWL chart. So KWL chart are graphic organizer that help students organize information before, during, and after a unit or a lesson. They can be used to engage students in a new topic, activate prior knowledge, share unit objectives, and monitor the students' learning. Next is the sequence organizers. So, sequence organizers is a type of graphic organizer that help the students to see the sequential relationship between events in a text. So, they can show a process or portray an event sequence in a simplified manner. It can also help the students to identify the cause and effect. Next is the process chart. So, process chart, it is also an example of graphic organizer that shows the steps of any process from beginning up to the end using process boxes, flow lines or arrows, and other symbols. Other than that, process charts are incredibly versatile and can be used to illustrate all sorts of different processes. Next is the concept map. So, concept map is an example of graphic organizer that helps students to connect ideas, concepts, and terms. So, students can also use these concept maps to organize the information they already know and to incorporate new learnings with their prior knowledge. Other than that, concept maps helps teachers to see how students understand content. Next is the fishbone diagram. So, fishbone diagram are used to identify and systematically list the different root causes that can be attributed to a problem. Thus, this diagram also helps us to determine which of several causes has the greatest effect. Fishbone diagram, it is also called as cause and effect diagram. Differentiating via product. So, differentiation based on product guides the learners to a list of possibilities of products to demonstrate their learning of a concept. This can be done by providing the learner with choices relative to the product they may need to produce. These choices are based on their readiness, interests, and learning styles. As such, the teacher must be able to present clear expectation from the learners and set concrete and realistic timelines based on the learner's readiness. This could be set through the learning contracts between the learners and the teacher. And as I've said earlier, learning contracts are individual agreements between the teacher and the learners.